Merry Christmas! This video will come out on December 23rd. We are December 17 right now. Last year I've made a video talking about all the games I finished during 2022, and I did enjoy that quite a bit, so I thought I would do it again this year. So this is my end of the year video about the game I finished in 2023. Now, what is a game I finished? It's not a game that I did 100% of or completed the game in all difficulties or anything like that. It's just a game that I've played through completion up until I see the end credits. Alright? This is what I considered a finished game to get into this list. Last year I've made the video like by genre of game, like Jrpg, action game, and so on. This year I'm gonna do it chronologically. So during the year I've taken notes of all the games I've finished, and so I'm gonna do them in the order that I've finished them during the year. So yeah, I suppose we can start with that. At the end of the video I'm gonna do a wishes for the next year, 2024, what I would like to see and do. This is very off the cuff, you know me, I do convoluted talk, and it's gonna be convoluted too, like always. So let's get started. So the first game I finished in 2023 was Scourgebringer. This is a roguelite, and this is a word you're gonna hear a lot in this video. Last year it was all about horror narrative driven games. This year it's all about roguelites. So Scourgebringer is a roguelite. It's very fast paced, and I really did enjoy this game a lot. I would rank this game in my top 10 games of all time. The soundtrack is amazing, the story is interesting enough. You know, roguelites are not very known for their story, and this is no different here. It's not that big of a thing, but the lore was really nice to uncover, and the way it was presented, I really like it. The soundtrack was just one of the best of all time. The graphics were so on point and perfect. You know, Scourgebringer is amazing. You can go look on my channel. I have a whole playlist of me playing Scourgebringer. There's a convoluted talk, there's a few tips and tricks, and yeah, this was a big game for me. Played it. Actually, this is the first game I finished in 2023, but I've played this game throughout the whole year, and I'm gonna play it again in 2024. This is a game that's gonna stay in my catalog of games I play. I bought it the first time on mobile. This is where I completed the game, got all the achievements for it, and then when it got on sale on PS4, I bought it again to play it on the big screen, and that was one of my best decisions this year, as it was absolutely amazing on PS4 on the big screen. Going from a 6-inch screen to a 50-inch screen is quite the thing. So yeah, and I got the platinum on PS4. So Scourgebringer, amazing. But enough of that, let's go on to the second game I finished, which is The Devil in Me. This is a narrative horror driven game made by Supermassive Games. They're the one behind Until Dawn that I've played last year, and it opened up my horizon to a whole bunch of games from them. It's all like choose your own adventure. You control like all the characters, and most of them die if you don't take the right decisions, and it's like, oh, you're being chased by the murderer. Will you hide under the bed or run outside the house? And depending on what you choose, it's gonna impact the story quite a bit. You can replay those games many times. I've played them all. Last year I've played all the Supermassive games. Until Dawn, The Quarry, House of Ashes, Man of Medan, and Little Hope. And yeah, in 2023 they released The Devil in Me. It's kind of the same, really, but it's based on the true story of an architect in Chicago in the 1830, something like that. He had made a whole hotel for the sake of killing people in it. Like, it's a true story. You can go look it up. I'm gonna put in the description the link to the Wikipedia page if you want to read about that. So you're playing a group of people who are making a documentary, like during the 2000, during our years, and they're making a documentary about that hotel and what happened, and of course things go incredibly wrong, and I really enjoyed it. It's my second favorite from Supermassive. Until Dawn is still my favorite game they made, but The Devil in Me was a whole lot of fun. I streamed the whole thing. If you want to see me comment it while I play it the first time, it's on the channel. It was amazing. Had a great time with it, and yeah, that's it for The Devil in Me. Let's move on to the third game. We have 26 to go on. Last year I had 27, so I've completed roughly the same amount of games than last year. So anyway, the third one is Neon Chrome. Last year my game of the year was Dismantle. It's a game made by 10 Tons, and a few years before they made Neon Chrome. It's a roguelite twin-stick shooter in a post-apocalyptic future. You just have to climb the floors of the tower of some... The bad guy is named the Overseer, and is controlling everything in this future, and you have to go up to his tower and get rid of the dude, basically. This is the story. There's not much of a story. And every time you go, you get a procedurally generated character that will be good with some weapons or some skills, like the hacker can open a specific chest that contains great loot and currency to upgrade your stuff during the run. And I've bought Neon Chrome like years ago, played it for a bit, but was not really in a mood for roguelites at that time, and just didn't play it really. And this year really got into it, went up to Overseer. Every time you beat the game you unlock more and more difficult stuff, and went up until like Overseer 5. I mean, some people online have went to Overseer 20 or 30. It's crazy because it gets pretty hard. It's a hard game, and my how do you say that? Not my guilty pleasure. I had the word culprit in mind. It's not the same thing. My guilty pleasure was to... the soundtrack is fine, but what I really enjoyed was to put the soundtrack off and put John Wick soundtrack in the background. And I've played a bunch of Neon Chrome listening to John Wick soundtrack, killing bad dude in a, in a bird's view type of camera, like in... it's a bit like Hotline Miami, which is a bit like a particular scene in John Wick 4. So anyway, that was my guilty pleasure. Played a bunch of Neon Chrome listening to John Wick. Highly recommended. The fourth game I've completed this year was Streets of Rage 4, and oh my god, this is a brawler, like 2D beat 'em up, and this is a game I've bought like 2 hours before boarding our flight to Cuba. We went to Cuba this year as a vacation. It was around April, so just before we left, I was super stressed out for the flight. I'm not somebody who takes planes often, and I was incredibly stressed out, and I was thinking of, man, how will I, try to forget. I'm on a plane. I had on YouTube downloaded a few of JTB's stream because I like his voice, I like listening to him, and thought, oh, I'm gonna put my headphones on and just listen to JTB. Which is something I did. But I also wanted a game, and I've bought on a whim Streets of Rage 4. And yeah, it's good. It's very, very good. My favorite character is Cherry. She's all about movements, and she's smashing people over the head with her guitar, and I think her design is amazing. I think the game looks great. The soundtrack is so good. Yeah, Streets of Rage. A straight-up 2D brawler that did everything right, really. It's amazing. Highly recommend it. I don't have much else to say about Streets of Rage 4. I did a playthrough on my channel, a live stream. I did a whole playthrough with Cherry from beginning to end, and I think I was alright. It was a good playthrough. You can go look it up. Next is probably I can't. This year I cannot say which game is my game of the year. It's just too hard. But this next one is probably my game of the year. If I had to say I have one, it would probably be that. And it's Wanted Dead. Wanted Dead is made by ex-Team Ninja devs who have worked on Ninja Gaiden. This is a hack and slash action with a lot of shooting, and Hannah Stone, the main character, is doing all those finishes moves that are very, very reminiscent of John Wick, gun fu type of moves. And it's a game that is it didn't reviewed well. People thought it was too clunky and and too hard, I think. I've finished the game in all difficulties, got most of the trophies. The hardest difficulty is called Japanese hard, and it's incredibly hard. But I've completed it. I've played this for minimum 60 hours during May. This was my May game. My birthday is in April. People on my Discord are wishing me happy birthday like 2 times a week. My real birthday is in April. I won't say the date, but it's in April. And I got some money from my mom at my birthday, and this game was like $60. And since it was like not very well reviewed, I was very hesitant to buy it. And then I got money for my birthday and thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm buying it. And yeah, pretty much the best game I've played this year. Really enjoyed it. I thought the story was fine. It's all over the top, like 90s action movie. It makes sense, but not that much. The voice acting is all over the place. Some are good, some are bad. I really enjoyed the voice for Anna Stone. It's made by a Swedish girl, if I remember correctly. She's having that big accent, but it really fits because, you know, the main character is Swedish in the game. So, no, it's a German girl, but the main character is Swedish. But anyway, it's I think it's nice. I think it's fine. I had a blast playing Wanted Dead. There's a bunch of videos on my channel. Can go look it up. Would I recommend it though? Honestly, maybe not. The Electric Underground is a channel on YouTube that's mostly about shmups, but he also made a whole video about Wanted Dead, where he explained why it's actually good, and this is what makes me pull the trigger, no puns intended, on Wanted Dead. And I thanked him on his videos, because that was a good decision. Wanted Dead is amazing. Alright, next I've played an Apple Arcade game called Lifeline Besides You in Time. This is the new Lifeline game. I've played Lifeline. There's a bunch of those games. this is like almost text message game. It's always the same. It works with notification on your phone. It's something you play like a few minutes at a time. It's like you install the game and then you get a notification that looks like, text message. And it says, hello, somebody's there, and then you have some choice to reply. And then it's usually somebody from outer space that are into big troubles, and you have to help them, like, save their life. I won't go into too much detail. Those games, you have to go into as blind as you can to make it fun. But it's basically a text-based game where you choose some text answer that will greatly impact the story. It's a choose-your-own-adventure book, but through something that looks like text message. And it was a lot of fun. It took me like 2 hours to complete by playing a few minutes here and there during like a week or two. And that was it. Played it only once, but it was enjoyable. Now I have no idea. I stopped counting the games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th game I've completed this year is Samurai Jack: Battle Through Time. It's an Apple Arcade game based on the popular comic franchise, animated show franchise Samurai Jack. Never watched it, really know not much about it, but it was a lot of fun. It was made actually by the same team that made Wanted Dead, and it was very reminiscent of Ninja Gaiden. It's an action game, level based, like, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not super hard, but somewhat challenging. Played it with a controller on my phone. It was a lot of fun. Not groundbreaking or anything, but I enjoyed it. The story was nice. It was voiced by the official voice actor from the show. So if you're a fan of the show, I think it's available on Steam too, and maybe the Nintendo Switch. I'm not too sure, but it was fun. There was a lot of weapon you could choose from to fight, and they all had different moves. You could upgrade your moves, unlock new skills. A nice package. Took me like 6 hours to complete. It was a fun action game. And then, because I wanted to play all of Soleil is the name of the dev team from Wanted Dead and Samurai Jack, and I wanted to play all of their games, and I got my hands on I'm a librarian. I work in a library, and in my library we are lending, you can borrow, games from PS4 to PS5 and Xbox and Switch. And this is where I get most of my games. It's like my Game Pass subscription. I don't have a Game Pass subscription because my Game Pass is the library. But anyway, we got Valkyrie Elysium. And it's a $70 game. I've played it through completion because the action was nice, but I did not really enjoy the story. The gameplay was nice, but it was not a very, very good game. I did not enjoy it that much. Played it all, took me like 20 hours maybe. But I was incredibly happy I did not pay full price for this. This was not as fun as Wanted Dead. It was a bit bland, actually. I think that was the problem. It was a bit bland. But, yeah. Anyway, I don't recommend Valkyrie Elysium. Then, last year, just after my 2022 games I've finished video, I've made a video called like 5 games I want to play in 2023. And out of those 5, I've played 3 of them. 2 I didn't play. It's After Image that I tried and enjoyed a lot, but haven't completed it, and Queen's Wish 2 that I've tried but not completed. But of the other 3, I wanted to play. I did play them, finished them, and one of them was Trails in the Sky, first chapter. And so this is a big series of JRPGs where everything in this series is interconnected. Like the NPCs from Trails in the Sky will appear in the second chapter and in the third chapter, and they will even appear on other Trails game. It's a bit like the Marvel universe, where everything is a bit in everything, and it's all interconnected, and all the stories are interconnected. You get to see each sides of the conflict. Like Trails in the Sky is in shit. What's it called? It's already been a while. It's in a part of a continent, alright? It's in like in a country, and then there is the Erebonia arc, that is Trails of Cold Steel, that happen in Erebonia country, which is the big military people. And there's Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure that takes place in the Crossbell country. But all of those countries are interconnected with one another, and you get to see each side of the story. And Trails in the Sky, I've bought it years and years ago, it's long JRPGs with a lot of text. It's it's in liberal. That's where it was. I had trouble talking because I was just thinking about that. Liberal, the liberal arc. So I've bought those games years ago on my PlayStation Vita. It's a PSP games. I've bought the first two, Trails in the Sky. The third one, unfortunately, was not available in my region on PSP. It's only available on the PC. So anyway, I'll explain what I did. But I've played Trails in the Sky first chapter. I've played it before. It's not the first time I finished it, but I really wanted to start back to because I never played the second chapter. So anyway, I got into those. They take a long time to play. There's a lot of reading, but it's so interesting. The world building is incredible. The music is nice. It looks great, even for a PSP game. And played the whole first chapter. Then right after, I played the whole second chapter, which was incredible. The character development in those games is, par to none. And then for Trials in the Sky, the third, since I was not able to play it, I watched the whole playthrough. It lasted 40 hours. Made by Kill Scott Kill, who unfortunately passed away like in 2021. He was a big content creator for Trails games. And I watch it all. He makes voice for every character. He reads all the text, he's commenting it. It was incredible. So I watched the whole thing on my commutes, and so I got catched up on the story, because there's some very important part in that story that you you don't need to see it. You can start the Trails game, you can start with any of the arcs, You could start with Trails of Cold Steel 1, you could start with Trails from Zero, you could start with Trails in the Sky first chapter. As long as you start, with the first one of the particular arc, you're gonna be fine. But there's something in Sky the Third that really is important in Trails from Zero, which I also completed. But we're gonna go back to Trails from Zero later, because after the 3 Trails in the Sky game, I needed a break from JRPGs, and it's like 100 hours to do those 3 things. So I really needed a break, and went to play Oxenfree 2, which was one of the game from my 5 games I want to play in 2023. It's a Netflix game. it's of course the sequel of Oxenfree, which was a game I streamed for Halloween last year. And so this year I also streamed Oxenfree 2 for Halloween. And I really enjoyed it. It's like a narrative game. It's not that far from Until Dawn. It's in 2D. It's kind of a side-scroller, but it's really focused on the text and the interaction with the characters, and what you choose to reply will impact the story. And really enjoyed it, but I did not enjoy it as much as the first. And I think that the main reason was not because the game was less good. I think it was as good. It was just not surprising anymore. It was more of Oxenfree, which, you know, is not a bad thing, but it was just not as surprising. The first Oxenfree, I went in with very little knowledge about what the game was about, and I was blown away. Really enjoyed it, and so I was really looking forward the second one. And then I've played it and was like, alright, yeah, I mean, it's super good, the story's nice, the voice acting, I think yeah, it's, in my opinion, it was less good, but it was still very good. Music was nice, same type of, you know, mystery music, because Oxenfree is all about ghosts and mysteries, and it was a lot of fun, just not as surprising. Then, because I watched a lot of the Electric Underground videos, I got into shmups, which is, you know, those vertical side-scrolling games that, like, your ship, you usually control a spaceship and you shoot stuff that is coming at you, and it's auto-scrolling. I'm sure you know, it's very arcadey. It was a big thing in the arcade back in the day. The first shmup I've ever played was Solar Striker on my Game Boy. I always liked shmups, and so on Apple Arcade there is Dodonpachi Resurrection, and so I've played this. I've played this enough that I did a 1cc, like it's a 1 credit clear. Because those games are very easy to complete. You can choose to have infinite continues, like if you would feed the machine coins in the arcade, and you know, if you have enough coins, well, now it's virtual coins, as in, you know, it doesn't cost anything. It's on Apple Arcade. You pay the subscription fee for Apple Arcade and you play all you want. There's no microtransactions, but you know, you virtually just continue all the time, and you know, finishing the game is incredibly easy. It takes 30 minutes max. There's 5 stages, you know, it's, you know, but finishing the game without using a continue is very hard. And I worked hard and finally got my 1 credit clear on normal. Alright, there's difficulties in this game and there's special route. I'm talking about just normal difficulty, normal, you know, just the game. So yeah, I really got into shmups. Was a whole lot of fun, and I definitely recommend the Dodonpachi Resurrection. The music is amazing. I like how it looks, and it plays well. It was a whole lot of fun to get back into this type of games that I haven't played in the past 15 years. So I did that. After that, I've played 2 Dismantle DLCs. The Underworld DLC and the Doomsday DLC. I decided to include this here because DLCs are a few hours long, and they all have like contained stories that goes from a start to a finish line. So the Underworld DLC was fine, but it was all in like caves, and I did not enjoy it that much. It comes with quite a few nice quality of life stuff, but Doomsday was where it was at. I really enjoy Doomsday. I don't want to spoil the story, but you kind of have to prevent, you know, a big weapon of mass destruction going off. So kind of have to save the world, and The story was really nice. Lots of different locations and new weapons and gear to get. Dismantle is amazing. If you have not played Dismantle yet, it was my game of the year last year. Highly recommend it. It's available on everything from mobile to PS4 to Xbox, Switch, Steam. So really, really recommend Dismantle. It was amazing. Then I went back into Trails, played Trails from Zero. I played it on the PS4. It's probably my favorite Trails. It comes, as those games. I mean, it's a remake of a very old game actually. Trails from Zero, I think, is a PS2 game or PSP game. Anyway, it's a remaster. But it was never localized, so it's the first time that it was in English. But they remastered it. Looks great, but it's like older type of JRPG, like 2D in a 3D world. But anyway, and the characters are just amazing. The story's nice. It's the start of the Crossbell arc. You're playing like not a private police. You're a member of the police, but a particular part of the police force that helps citizens with many things, from finding a lost cat to saving children from abductions. But anyway, the story was nice. I really enjoyed it. But Trails to Azure, which is like the second Trails game in this particular arc, I haven't finished it yet. Just played the prologue. It was nice, but I was just not in the mood for more JRPGs. After Trails from Zero, I really needed a break from JRPGs. All of the next game I will talk about here are very action game, but Trails from Zero comes with really nice quality of life. Like you can press a shoulder button and it makes everything go super fast, so you can skip all combat animation. And I'm not playing those games for combat. I'm playing those games because of the amazing stories and NPCs you meet. So combat is fine. It's turn-based JRPG combat. It's enjoyable. I like those things, but it's not the reason I'm playing it. I'm playing it for the story, so I could do all the combat super quick. You save a lot of time. I still put like 40 hours into Trails from Zero, even with the sped up combat. And you can speed up your walking around too, so this is pretty nice. You can go from one place to another super quick, which was not available in Trails in the Sky in the version I had on PSP. So yeah, you save a lot of time. It was amazing. I have not made videos for that, unfortunately. Streaming JRPGs is something I'm not very comfortable doing, and I just played it for myself. That's it. But I mean, I recommend all the Trails game. They're just so good. Anyway, after that, I've replayed. I decided to put it here, even though it's a game I completed in December last year. I've replayed it many times this year, made a whole lot of video. I make a walkthrough on it. If you want to play this game and don't know where to go, I have a walkthrough for it. And it's Afterplace. It's an amazing game made by Ivan Kais, a solo dev. He made it all, from the music to the programming to the art, and it's just so good. And it got even better this year because he introduced quite a few bug fixes, quite a few new little feature. The game now runs in 60 FPS, which makes it look so smooth. It's a 2D open world Zelda-like game where you meet the most charming NPCs ever made in gaming, and you can choose, to go in any places, and there's such a good story unfolding. It's just so much fun to play. You can play in portrait mode, holding your phone like a Game Boy, but you can also play in landscape mode. And last year I've made a portrait mode playthrough, but this year I made the landscape mode playthrough and the walkthrough and a few tips and guides for the game. Afterplace is just so good. 2023 as a whole was an amazing year gaming-wise for me. I've played so many games that I would be tempted to put in my top 10s of all time. Not all the games, most games I've played were not from 2023, but most of the game I've played this year were just so amazing. Like Afterplace, of course, Trails from Zero, Wanted Dead, Streets of Rage 4, Scourgebringer, all such amazing games. What a fantastic year I got this year, gaming-wise. And I got more views on my channel this year than all the other years combined. So, as far as video games, 2023 is probably one of the best year of all time for me. So, anyway, replayed Afterplace, amazing. Go look it up on my channel. Then I've played Residual. Residual is made by it's another one dev game. It's from Orange Pixel, aka Pascal. He's a dude from the Netherlands, and he's been making game for 20 years. Residual is his most recent one, I believe. It's a how would I describe it? I've made a convoluted talk about Residual if you want to see it on my channel, where I go more in depth with all of those things. It's a 2D think like Terraria, but there's no combat, and the story is pretty simple. You crash on a planet and you have to repair your ship to get off the planet. That process takes for the first time about 5 to 7 hours, and then you can do it in under 2 hours once you know what to do. But every planet is different. It's procedurally generated, so all the materials you need will be in different places, and the layout will be different, and the environment will be different. So you have like your solar suit that keeps you warm, but then if you're on a cold planet, it's gonna deplete faster, so you're gonna have to go to your ship more often during your exploration. But anyway, and there's no combat. There's creatures that wants to mess with you, but you cannot really fight back. It's all about the platforming, exploring the planets, and the joy of it. I've completed it quite a few times, I would say 5 or 6 times. Got a few achievements along the way, but it's the fun of the game is, always crashing on a new planet and not knowing what it's gonna look like and where the things will be. I really had a good time with Residual, and I'm looking forward the next game that Pascal is working on. It's called Regulator City. It's kind of a twin stick shooter, I would say, where you have a team of AI partner and you regulate people. It looks great. Go wishlist that on Steam. He needs to get some help with that. But yeah. Then we're getting at the end of the list. Then I've replayed Stray with my daughter. It's a game we've played last year, and this year, like in October, she asked me to replay Stray, so I got it from the library once again, and we replayed it. And Stray is a lot of fun. You're playing as a cat in a post-apocalyptic world, and you get separated from your family, and you have to find a way to get out of this weird underground city. Stray is very good, and it's a game that. By the way, she can't hear me right now, so I'm gonna say it. I've bought her the collector's edition for Christmas, so she's gonna own it now with a lot of little goodies and a nice poster, and the soundtrack I think is included in that. Anyway, she's gonna get her own copy of Stray. And it's a game that, I mean, I enjoyed it a lot, but it's not that it's that incredibly amazing, but it's just, I've played it, we've completed it like 3 times the last time we're trying to get all the achievements. I think like we only have 2 left. One is like complete the first chase without getting hit by the little, the Zerk. They're called a Zerk. It's like futuristic cockroaches, we'll say. And the other is do the speed run to complete the game in under 2 hours. I think we managed to do it like in 4 hours, so we still have quite a bit of time to chop, but we want to get all the achievements, so we completed it like 3 times again this year. And what's special with Stray is the memories we're making together. And at first she was just playing the little part where she was exploring, and I was doing all the action and platforming stuff. But as the playthrough went on, she at the last one she played it almost all by herself. I mean, I was with her, I was, talking with her while we were playing, but she got pretty good at playing Stray. So yeah, very special game to me. It's a game that, when she grow older, she's gonna, reminisce the time she played Stray with her dad. And I'm pretty sure, because I have some games like that with my own dad. So anyway, then on Apple Arcade, they released a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game called Splintered Fate. It's a roguelite game. Think Hades, but with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle universe. You play as, one of the 4 turtles. They all have different skills, and you have to complete the game in one go, not dying. If you die, you go back to the beginning. You know how roguelites work. And along the way, you get some currency, and you can upgrade your skill, unlock abilities. And this game is actually so good. I mean, I enjoyed it more than Hades. You can go look up on my channel some TMNT Splintered Fate stuff I've made. This is amazing. It looks so true to the franchise. Everything is voice acted, and it, like in Hades, I mean, there's a big comparison to make between those 2 games. But like in Hades, when you die and go back fight the boss like remembers you dying, and the dialogue changes every time you go in the game. And everything's voice acted. All the voice actors are amazing. The art is so true to the franchise. It's not a cash grab. It's not a licensed game, or really hit and miss. Most of the time it's a miss. This one was amazing, and it's so good that it brought me back to the TMNT franchise as a whole. Right now, on my commute to work, every morning I'm watching an episode of the 2003 animated show. I'm almost at season 4 now. I'm reading the IDW comic run. I'm listening to some soundtrack of TMNT. Like, it brought me back to this franchise that I had put aside since my teenage years. When I was young, it was crazy. I grew up in the 90s, and TMNT were everywhere, from your cookies to your toilet paper, and I'm not even joking. But then I moved on, you know, not thinking too much about TMNT, and playing this game, I got almost all the achievements, completed it like using all the hardest thing you could get. There's like portals that makes the game more difficult, like enemy will do more damage, enemies will move faster, pizza will heal you for less, and stuff like that. And I worked really hard on my achievements. Played a bit with my son. It's multiplayer, you can play with somebody else online. So played that with my son. We had a great time. Even did a stream where we were both of us in voice chat, talking while playing TMNT. And he's reading right now. He's reading the IDW comic with me. So he's not a fan enough to watch the animated show, but he's reading the comics. Played the game with me. Yeah, amazing roguelite. Really, really amazing. Then I play Elderand. I didn't play this one that much. I believe I got the bad ending, but I still got an ending, you know. Saw the credits, so I thought I would add it here. It's a Metroidvania, you know, 2D side-scroller. I enjoyed the game, but you know, what I enjoyed the most was actually the music. The music in Elderand is amazing. I've put a video on my channel where it's like 4 tracks of the game. If you want to go and listen to what it sounds like. I enjoyed Elderand, but you know, not enough to continue playing it. I've played so many of those, and I mean, I love them. I love 2D side-scroller Metroidvania stuff. You know, a big game on my channel that got me a lot of views and subscribers is Grim Valor, which is a 2D side-scroller Metroidvania-like game, and I love it. It's one of my favorite of all time. I've played a bunch of Bloodstained on the channel, which is a 2D Metroidvania made by the dude who made Castlevania, which I also played a lot. But you know, I've played so many of those games, and Elderand didn't really bring anything new. It was just, you know, a good Metroidvania, a good indie side-scrolling game. So anyway, next I've played A Short Hike with my daughter. At some point I was a bit tired of Stray, but she still wanted to play games with me. And A Short Hike was on sale for like $5 on the PlayStation Store, and thought, hey, you want to play A Short Hike? It's we're a penguin and we need to climb up the mountain. That's the game. And she said yes, of course. And we played A Short Hike. It was a charming game. We finished it in like 2 hours. But there's a bunch of collectibles to find. It's like open world. You're on an island, and you need a break from the city. You know, you're stressed out, and you go to the island to relax. And you decide to there's some kind of trails to get to the top of the mountain, and to get to the top you have to find some golden feathers that makes you fly for longer and climb for longer. You just, you know, move around, meet people on the island, talk to them, do some little quest for them. Everything is pretty much optional. You just have to climb the mountain. It's easy, it's fun, it's beautiful, the music's nice. We had a lot of fun playing this, and then once we were done with our first run, we continued playing to find more secrets, because there's a bunch of secrets on the island to find. So it was a lot of fun. I recommend it, and it's pretty cheap anyway. On you know, it's a $10 games, regular price. So yeah. After that, I've played River City Girls 1, and I'm gonna, you know, put 2 here. I wish this video would last less than an hour, but seems it's not gonna work. But anyway, I've played both River City Girls. It's a 2D brawler beat 'em up in the River City Ransom universe. It was highly recommended for me by Zach from Old Man Gaming, which is a YouTube channel you should go to. It's his, like, River City Girls is his favorite, you know, beat 'em up of all time. Mine is still probably Streets of Rage 4, but I finally bite the bullet, played both games, and I had a lot of fun. The voice acting is great, the soundtrack is amazing, and it's a soundtrack with like real songs made by Megan McDuffie. She sings and plays, you know, guitar and stuff. And it's really nice. You're playing the game with those songs in the background, and the action is really nice. I wish, you know, in Streets of Rage, when you get hit a lot and you fall, when you're thrown into the air, if you press the jump button at the right time, you're gonna land on your feet and you're gonna be able to, you know, beat up some more people right away. In River City Girls, you just fall on your back and it takes like 2 seconds to get up. And I feel it when you suck and you get hit often. I feel I was spending a bit too much time on the ground. So I wish, you know, it was a bit faster. River City Girls 2 addresses a lot of issues from the first one. It's definitely the best game. The second one is really good. The world is bigger. There's much to do. A bunch of quests, a bunch of upgrades. You know, there's more of everything, really. And they address a bit of the stuff. It's a bit faster paced, which is good. More moves, you know, more stuff. River City Girls is such a great franchise. I recommend both games. The story was nice, it was super funny. I mostly played as Kyoko, but Misako is my favorite character personality-wise. She's super, you know, how could I say? She always says stuff the way I would like someone to say it. She's a bit edgy, a bit, you know. She doesn't mind saying to people they're boring and stupid, basically. So it was a lot of fun to see the characters talk, interact. It's all voice acted. Yeah, highly recommended. And then the next one is Otherworld Legends. It's a mobile game. It's a roguelite. But there's a lot of brawler, beat 'em up elements to it. And I finished it, kind of. I'm not too sure what is considered finished. I did a lot of runs on normal, on hard mode. Right now, I'm still playing it a lot because I'm trying to unlock. You know, it's a free-to-play game, but it's really well made because there's a bunch of characters you can unlock or buy, but there's no loot boxes. Like, if you want to buy a character, you just pay the $2.99 or $3.99 to unlock it, and you get the character right away. There's no gambling. There's no, and I really appreciated that. I've bought a character. I bought Uliana. She's amazing. And right now you can grind. You know, if you do like 1 or 2 runs a day, it's gonna take a few weeks. And there's a nice pirate skin to unlock for Uliana, and I'm working to get it right now. I'm having a lot of fun with Otherworld Legends. I'm doing 2 runs pretty much every day. Doing a run is like 20 minutes, 15 if I'm playing on normal, 20 on hard. Yeah, the music is really nice too. Made a video on the channel that you know, showcase a bit of the music from the game. Really enjoy it. It's a game I recommend. Then we're almost finished. Then I finished Horizon Chase 2. It's a you know, those old racing game on the SNES like Top Gear. This is kind of this, because it's even the same composer who made the music that made the Top Gear 2 music and Horizon Chase 2 music. It's on Apple Arcade. I've played this with my son mostly. There's multiplayer, and we've played that together, did all the races, and got to the end credits. So I thought I would had it here. Not that it's, it's a racing game. Well, I mean, you can complete a racing game. There's not story, but there's a bunch of game, and to complete the game, you have to unlock the next race. You always have to finish at least 5th in the race out of 20, and we did that. Finished first most of the time, really, first, second. It's not super hard, but it was fun to unlock new cars, new upgrades, and I really enjoy those arcadey type of racing games. So anyway, finished Horizon Chase 2. And the last one is Warm Snow. It's a roguelite once again. You try to do the run, you die, you upgrade some stuff with currency, and you go back. It's an indie Chinese roguelite, and I was glad to see that it's a full-priced game. It's like $10. I've bought the game for $10. Got the game. There's no microtransaction, which is great. Especially for a Chinese game, it's hard. The whole gimmick of this one is you have melee attack, but you also have like some flying swords with you, and you can throw them to enemies, and then you have a skill to get them back to you that hurts enemies also. I'm gonna put some background, some footage during those talks so you can see a bit what it looks like, but it was pretty hard. It took me a long time to get a run done and see the end credit. It took me like 7 hours of trying and upgrading. The bosses were pretty hard. You cannot just attack the boss. It's not a hack and slash game. You really need to learn the pattern and choose when to attack and when to stay away. The game looks amazing. I've played it on 60 FPS on my phone, and it was... I'm still playing it because there's more to unlock, more difficulties, there's a new gameplay mode that I just only tried. I cannot really talk about it, but there's different modes that brings different challenges, and this is a very challenging roguelite. Took me a while to get to the end, so I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend Warm Snow, and it's available on Steam too, and probably other stuff. I haven't looked, but I know it's on PC. So that's it. That's the game I finished in 2023. Now, for some wishes for 2024, I want a PS5. This is my big wish for 2024. I want to buy a PS5. I'm a bit tired of the loading time on my PS4. The PS4 is 10 years old now, maybe even a bit more. I have mine since 2016. And I really want the upgrade. I want faster loading time, and I want to play the Returnal, which is a roguelite game shooter. I really want to play this game. And there's more and more games that now, like Baldur's Gate 3 is a game I really would like to play, but I have nothing to play it on, so I know it's available on PS5, so there's that. So, there's more and more games that you cannot play on PS4, and even the new games that are releasing on both consoles are, on PS4 it's starting to show its age. So this is my big wish. I want a PS5. This is gonna be my big expenses for next year. I'm waiting to see how we have to renew our mortgage on the house, and interest have spiked quite a bit. Interest rates. So I'm waiting to see how much it's gonna cost to pay the rent. Well, not the rent, but you know what I mean. To pay the house, and then I'm gonna make my move. And yeah, what I'm wishing you for the next year is great games. I hope your gaming year was good. Let me know in the comments the games you've played, the games you've finished. I'm definitely curious about what people have played this year. It was a fantastic year for releases, but you know, I mostly played the games I've played are mostly not from 2023. But let me know, what games have you played this year? What did you enjoy? What did you hate? Uh, I don't usually speak of games I don't like. I just don't speak about it, and that's pretty much it. I'm not a I know it's very popular to hate on stuff on YouTube, but it's not my cup of tea. This is not what I want to do. I want to talk about games I like. So those were all the games I've finished. I played a whole lot of games. I've played After Image. I've played. I talked a bit about Queen's Wish 2. I've played that a bit. What are the other games I've played? I've played a bunch of games this year. I've played some Villagers and Heroes, of course. I've played some Coromon. It's a Pokemon game, Pokemon-like game. I've played Gene Forge 1 remastered on my iPad. It's a like CRPG made by one dude. That was pretty nice. I've played Trails to Azure. Just not completed it, just started it. But anyway, let me know. This is all I have. I wish you a great Christmas, a great New Year. Hope you're gonna eat a lot of good food and drink a lot of booze, if that's your thing. Don't do too much drugs. And spend time with your friends and family. And yeah, Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. If you're celebrating that, I know I am. Probably the picture you'll see in the background is my Christmas tree. So anyway, yeah, I think this is all I have. I've been speaking for an hour now. I think it's enough. Best wishes. Hope you'll have a great year of gaming next year. And it's kind of awkward to finish those long videos. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna finish like I've been doing for the past few weeks, months, I don't know, with my catchphrase, my ending catchphrase, which is go do something else now. Go play games. Bye-bye. Oh, bunch of links in the description. Join my Discord server where we're having a lot of fun there. Ishan will be happy I'm plugging it at the end of the video. At the end, like when nobody watches. Alright, bye. Thanks for watching.